This is a good question, and look, of course, anything like this, sauna, ice exposure, different recovery modalities, all these things are overhyped to some extent. That does not mean that they're without any basis in evidence. And when you look to sauna, there's a lot of research out of Finland from Jari Laukkanen, I think that's how you pronounce it in Finnish, Laukkanen. Jari Laukkanen and that research group that do a lot of research on sauna, and he's a cardiologist, I believe, PhD, and he is particularly interested in the role of sauna, obviously relevant to Finland, and its effect on cardiovascular health and cardiovascular risk. And there has been, some evidence in terms of reducing cardiovascular event rates and various effects on the vasculature, the blood vessels, that would potentially be of use for reducing events and reducing long-term risk. Some of that has the potential to just be non-causal. Some of it probably is more causal evidence. I think that some people are probably too harsh on these modalities in that they just want to throw anything out the window that doesn't have like a ridiculous evidence base to support it. But also some people are too quick to lump on or to jump on, hype bandwagons like this. But yeah, I think I'm fairly pro sauna. I would assume that it would have a positive impact on health over the long term. I think it's fairly clear from a cardiovascular perspective, at least, that there are, very real physiological changes, in order to get blood to the surface of the skin, you need to increase your cardiac output to some degree. So your cardiac output will be increased during sauna use, which is sort of like exercise in some sense, and that can improve left ventricular function. So if you improve left ventricular function within the heart, then that does have positive impacts on cardiovascular health or cardiovascular risk. That's one of the metrics that would be used in something like heart failure, cardiac failure. So yeah, there are interactions there with the autonomic nervous system, there are interactions there with your cardiovascular function, interactions potentially with things like clotting, various smaller mechanisms like heat shock proteins and these types of things. And when you put it all together, I wouldn't say that it's not an inert intervention. I do think it's an intervention that is likely to have some positive health effects, but I would, still remain skeptical in terms of a lot of the claims that are out there, because it is one of those interventions, unfortunately, that fits into the kind of functional health, functional medicine side of the internet, which is not known for its rigorous evidential standards. So I'm pro sauna, but I would still remain skeptical.